One of the things I hear a lot on this channel is that people have lots of tokens, right? You're in loads of positions, in loads of coins, let's say 30 coins. And I see the same pattern repeat. And this is the pattern. You enter the market, you get all the coins that you hear online. You've got everyone saying, this coin is really good, this coin's really good, and you just keep buying all the coins. If that's you, then I want you to hear me out on why I think consolidating your portfolio is the better thing to do here. At the end of the video, I'll discuss my holdings, how many coins I have, and why. The first reason why you would want to consolidate is purely and simply about stress levels. I have been there before. I've had those 20, 25, 30 tokens before. Something we all do at the beginning because we hear people talk about coins and we think, oh, I'm just going to buy that, I'm going to buy that, I'm going to buy that. And it keeps you in the beginner's phase, because if you can't get out of that beginner's phase, you can't get out the stress. You're constantly looking at multiple exchanges. You're trying to find websites that consolidate all of that in one screen, and it's like needless stress. And then also on the right-hand side here, if you use TradingView or any of your charting systems, you just have a list that's massive. Here's why high stress levels is ineffective for actually making money in crypto. And that's simply because when stress is high, emotions are high. When emotions are high, plans go out the window, poor decisions happen, and the massive likelihood is that you will lose in that scenario. Our emotions are not a great indicator as to when to be buying or selling. The indicators I've got on here are they're emotionless. If we're below the 21 moving average, we buy. If the price cycle bottom indicator has flashed, it means the bottom's in. And if the Gaussian channel is in the red zone, it means you're at the bottom of the market. You pair all three of those and make sure that you only buy in the times where all three of those criteria are met. Really, you can't go that wrong. And there's no emotion attached to that. It's just the fact, right? You look at the chart, that's the fact. It's 100% so far in history. Same thing's happening right now. Can you see how there's no emotion there? It's just a plan to be executed. Having too many tokens and keeping your eye on too many things, increasing that stress level, increases the emotion and removes your plan. If you can't control your stress and you have a plan, you'll get to the top and think, I think it's going to go a bit higher. I'm going to ditch my plan. I'm excited. Look at all these coins that are doing well. I've got so many coins that are doing well. I can't possibly lose right now. That's the emotional behavior that makes you lose. The second reason why you want to consolidate is purely mathematical. So because you're probably new into crypto, I mean, even if you're not, this makes complete sense. You've overloaded on tokens. Do you think at the beginning of your crypto career, your decisions about the tokens that you've bought are sound? Do you think they're good decisions? Would you risk everything on those decisions? Let's say you have 20 tokens. There's probably a handful of tokens there that you think, those are my most confident coins. The rest, it's a bit iffy. They could go crazy. They could also die. That gets us into a bit of a mathematical predicament here. So I want to pose something to you. Let's say somebody has 20 coins and somebody has 4 coins. And this goes against the belief of most of the world. Who do you think, and don't cheat, I want you to put it in the comments, who do you think is taking more of a risk in crypto? Person 1 who holds 20 tokens or person 2 that holds 4 tokens? Leave that in the comments, I'll wait. There, I'm done waiting. We'll see how many of you got that right. So the answer to that, in my opinion, is the guy who's got 20 tokens is taking considerably more risk. Here's why. The risk lies in the fact that if you're hoping to be successful in crypto, you really want 75% of your coins to go crazy, and the 25% could do whatever it wants, right? It could go to zero, that 25%. As long as 75% go up, you're in the money. So 75% of 20 coins, 15, right? That's 15 tokens. What's 75% of 4 coins? 3 tokens. And here's the simple question. Do you trust yourself to pick 15 tokens that will go to the moon? Or do you think it's preferable to pick 3 or 4 tokens that it's unimaginable for it to not go up? I'm talking about the likes of XRP. Bitcoin will always go up. Ethereum will always go up. And instead of dividing your portfolio into 20, condensing it down into, say, 4 means you have significantly more money in each token and are the ones that you are most confident in. So hitting a 75% success rate with 4 tokens that are the best tokens that you could possibly think of, your chances of success are significantly more. And a little bonus reason here as to why you should consolidate your portfolio is that when 3 of those tokens with those large holdings, each holding 25% of all of your portfolio, when they pump, they will pump significantly more. The numbers, the USD value of those tokens will be considerably more than any of the other ones that you've divided your portfolio into 20 times. Right? It's just simple maths there. 4 tokens may not be ideal for many of you. 4 tokens is what I currently hold. For me, that matches the balance of having exposure to 4 tokens, 4 of the ones I'm most confident in. 2, it also helps me manage my stress levels. Therefore, the plans that I have in place are easy to execute because the emotion is not going to play a role. And when those 4 tokens do go, the amount of money I have in them is significantly more than it would if I'd spread across the whole board of 20 tokens or so. So what would I suggest for you? And before I get into the tokens that I hold, I want to make a quick suggestion, at least a consideration for you. Have a look at your portfolio. I want you to count how many exchanges all of your coins are on. I'd say if you're on more than 3 exchanges with your tokens, that's probably a bit of a warning sign. Imagine the emotion that's going to come over you when you're trying to sell and you've got to log into all these different places. Headache, big headache. So if you're able to consolidate where your tokens are held, that would be a really good step towards consolidating your portfolio, not just the amount of coins, but where they are located. That reduces stress. And secondly, I want you to pick a handful, 5. And if you want 2 handfuls, 10 tokens that you feel so passionately about, and look at those other tokens, the outliers, the other 10, the other 20 tokens that you hold, and have a look at the amounts you hold in those tokens. Even if we see a 10, 20x for that token, will that amount grow to anything worth it versus having a bigger bag in a smaller amount of tokens and those going that 10, 20x? Identify those outlying tokens, and then you have to ask yourself, should I do this or not? Obviously, I think the reduction in stress and the increased potential in growth severely outweighs the reasoning as to why you would hold those outlying tokens, but everyone can do what they want to do. I don't really care. I'm just sharing my understanding. So just to give you an example of all the ones I held and what I consolidated into, might be useful. This is another call to subscribe to this channel. If you watched all the way this far, you clearly like the content. Just hit subscribe and join me and the members in the Discord community as well. You just have to click the join button below. So in my history, I've held basically everything. Just having a look at this list, I've held Neo, Filecoin, EOS, Dash, ETH, Doge, Shiba, Cardano, Ape. I've held all of these tokens. I've held Luna at one point. I didn't actually lose the Luna thing because I was out of Luna by then. Solana. I've probably held about 50 to 60 tokens. And I've consolidated all of that, probably 50 or 60 tokens that I've held in my time, down to 4. Those 4 are XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Casper, and HBAR. And really that range of tokens for me, I believe, have the highest risk-reward ratio that I'm comfortable with. But here's another thing about diversification, especially when you diversify between the 4, you diversify with your level of confidence. This is really important. So the majority of my holdings are in XRP. That's because the majority of my confidence lies in XRP. The next level of confidence down is Bitcoin Cash. Further down than that is HBAR, and further down than that is Casper. So I hold the amounts proportional in those coins. And I think the maximum amount of gain with the lowest amount of spread of my coins suits me and my risk tolerance and the way I like to play this game. And you have to ask those questions for yourself. Anyway, that's all for this video. Join as a member, stay emotionless out there. It's going to get wild. Trust me, it's going to get wild. I'll see you in the next one.